Hi there, it's day 2 of the bread Fullerene cell. It's coming up to a 12-minute charge. I think I might have burnt that cell out by giving it a 15-minute charge earlier, and it's not holding as much charge anymore. If it fails this time, I'll replace its separator, put a new piece of towel on and see if that fixes it. It's now 12 minutes. I'll reset the timer. And voltage is looking alright on this cell. This is the bread cell from the other day. Alright, connecting the load and timing the discharge. No, see, it's not holding its charge anymore. I think the 15-minute charge stuffed it up. I did a 12-minute one before the 15, and it ran for 14 minutes. The sugar one there didn't have a 15, I only had a 12, and it's up there 11:25 minutes. So this one's out already, so I'll change the membrane and give it a try. Okay, take 2. I've replaced its membrane with the paper towel. It was burnt out on the inside there, stuck really firm. So it's got the new paper towel and it's coming up to a 12-minute charge. And hopefully fixing the membrane fixes the cell. Could have damaged the carbon layer on top of the cells. Alright, that's 12 minutes. I'll reset the timer. And voltage after about 10 seconds is 2.5. And we'll time the discharge starting now. This one seems to discharge a lot faster. But I think its rate of decline has slowed a bit. If this runs for more than 2 minutes, changing the membrane can sort of fix your cell maybe, depends. It has to run as long as the sugar one did, which was 11 minutes and 25 seconds. Or did it do 12 on that run? May have done 12. No, 11:25 I think. Well, it's not looking good. It's only 1 minute and it's down to 0.25. It wants to hold around here for a while. Well, that cell was looking good until I gave it a too long a charge of 15 minutes. Nope, look at that, 2 minutes, didn't make any difference to the cell. So maybe carbon's burnt out, not sure. I'll leave it and try the experiment again tomorrow. Alright, later. Alright, so the next day with the bad cell that was performing pretty badly. It's burnt out. I also burnt out the other one, the sugar one. The two composite cells are still going because they haven't had a 12-minute charge. But on the burnt out cells, the voltage is 1.4 at the moment. It's pretty dead. I'll do a short circuit. It's only about 9 milliamps in it, and we'll quickly give it a charge. Charge voltage is still set the same for 1 minute charge. Milliamps isn't very high anymore at all. And when I was changing the membrane, the separator on this cell, I noticed the separator was totally embedded at the back of the aluminium plate, and it was hard to peel out. I reckon it's building up a oxidized layer and blocking the electrons, or something like that. We're going to test that theory since this one is also dead after one too many 12-minute charges. These ones had 4-minute charges and they're still holding up, so 4 minutes, somewhere between 4 minutes and 12 minutes wrecks this cell. So we're going to use both of the carbon from these two cells as a cell in a minute to test the theory if the aluminium plates are out. And I'll also set the aluminiums up together too, see if they work. So we're coming up to a minute, and the last time I tried to charge this earlier, I gave it a minute's rest period and it was still at 2.1 volts after a minute of idle. It does drop down to that 1.4 you've seen, but the worst thing is it doesn't have any amperage. Watch, I'm connecting the motor now, and that's it. Dead. Dead as a doornail. Nothing. Doesn't matter if you charge it up on 10 volts or any voltage, but the voltage remains high. It could have shorted all the way through the carbons as well into the plate. That could be a possibility. So I'm going to swap over, use the two carbons and the two aluminiums together and see if we get a change. Won't be long. Okay, back. I have the two carbon cells and the two aluminium cells now. We're hooked up here. Voltage is 0.09 and milliamps 2.2 on the dual carbon. We'll give it a charge at the same volts for 1 minute and see if it performs. Oh, that's not the charge. That was connected to the load. Charging now. Oh yeah, we got our milliamps back now. We're right up. So the carbon cells might be right. I checked these two cells for their polarities. It was 0.7 volts on the aluminiums. So I'm predicting the aluminium cell won't hold a charge as long as the two carbon cells. But again, peeling off the paper towel around the aluminium electrodes they were really stuck at the back for some reason. Came off the carbon, but not off the back of the raw aluminium. Alright, we're coming up to a minute nearly. Alright, that's a minute's charge. I wonder if I should reset the timer. I will. Alright, we're dropping fast in voltage, which is a good sign that they're leaking, because they always leak. These weren't leaking. Alright, I'll connect the load and see if we got any extra long run. Oh, we're delivering 40 milliamps. Motor's making a sound. Alright, the carbon cells probably, I think they look alright. So it's not the carbon cell which is dying. So the two carbon cells are doing alright actually. And they're composite now. It's one of them's bread, one of them's the sugar. Well, that's certainly still running better than when they were swapped over, carbon and aluminium being burnt out. We've nearly got our minute charge. We're at 55 seconds and we're at 0.2 dropping. There, we've got our minute. Alright, so we proved that one. That one sort of works still. Just connect up the other cell. This is the two aluminium cells. Oh. Okay, voltage is now at right. Okay, 0.5 volts for that one. Let's reset the timer. We'll give this one a charge for 1 minute. Okay. Oh yeah, see the milliamps are down. So the cell, the aluminium plates are totally oxidized out, I'd imagine. We'll still give it a minute. We got a minute of run time on the two carbons, which are connected to those two cells. The back part of the cell was all gunked up as well, with the paper towel was like it was embedded into it, couldn't scrape it out. That's not a cell, that's from another test though. That's the size of the cells though. Okay, we're at 52 seconds. Alright, 1 minute. I'll just reset the timer. And oh, the voltage isn't very good. Nothing's very good in the double aluminium one. Alright, I'll connect the load and run the timer. I probably don't need the timer. Connecting now. Oh, well there you go. Nothing. Zero. We'll up the voltage. Alright, we'll crank it up to 15 volts, connecting, and we're still not drawing much milliamps. I'd say the double aluminium plate would have worked prior to the oxidization happening from either overcharging or too many charges. I'll find that out later. I'll keep these ones all at 4 volts. I mean 4 minutes, under 4 minute charges at 4 volts, and we'll see if they still function. not quite a minute, 50 seconds on 15 volts. The cell's stuffed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, 1 minute. Connecting the load. We don't hold anything. Totally dead cells. So there you go. I'll keep these double carbons around and see what happens with those. Alright, thanks for watching.